Welcome. Today, we're diving into a really cool technology that's taking on one of the oldest, toughest problems in construction. How to stop our buildings from basically falling apart. Turns out, it's a battle against an enemy you can't even see, and the solution is coming from the world of the ultra-small.
So just think about it for a second. Every single building, from a massive skyscraper to the house you live in, is under constant attack. But what do you think is the main thing that wears them down day after day?
Now, you're probably thinking it's just, time, the natural process of aging. And yeah, that's definitely part of the story, but the real villain here is something much more active, something that gets deep inside.
Yup, the biggest enemy of all is water. It's constantly trying to seep into all those tiny microscopic pores in concrete. And when it gets in, it causes chaos. Cracks start to form, the steel rebar inside starts to rust and corrode, and you get that nasty wall cancer, that chalky white stuff you sometimes see. It is a slow but totally relentless invasion from the inside out.
But what if you could fight that invasion at the molecular level? Well, that is exactly what a Taiwanese company called JAS is doing. They've basically developed a brand new kind of armor for our buildings using the incredible power of nanotechnology.
Okay, so the core of their tech is something called Nano Liquid Glass. Try to picture a coating so incredibly thin, we are talking hundreds of times thinner than a human hair, that you literally can't see it. This shield doesn't just sit on top, it actually fuses with the concrete, creating this amazing surface that repels water and dirt, but, and this is key, it still lets the material breathe.
And this slide right here really shows you why this is such a game changer. Think of traditional waterproofing like putting a raincoat on a building. It's a separate layer on top, right? And what happens to raincoats? They can peel, they crack, they wear out. But JAS Nanotechnology, well, it's more like getting a tattoo. It actually penetrates the surface and becomes a part of the structure itself. It can't peel off because it's bonded right into the concrete.
And we're not just talking about a single spray-on product here. No, what JAS has done is engineer a complete, multi-layered defensive strategy to protect a building for its entire life. So let's take a look at how they build that defense, right from the very beginning.
They call it the all-around waterproofing system, and it's basically a three-pronged attack. First, it starts deep inside the concrete core. Then it moves to repair any weak spots on the surface, and finally, it finishes with a powerful shield on the outside.
Now this first step is absolutely crucial. Before the building is even, well, a building, a special liquid agent, it's called an admixture, is mixed right into the wet concrete. What this does is make the entire structural core waterproof from the start. You're not just protecting the building, you're literally building a waterproof structure from day one.
And the benefits of doing it this way, they are huge. JS breaks it down into the 3 savings and the 4 effects. So by putting the waterproofing right into the concrete mix, you save on materials, you save on labor for extra coatings, which of course saves you money. And what you get in return is a solution that is proven to be effective, it's nationally certified, it's more eco-friendly because it lasts so long, and it gives projects a really powerful edge. Okay, so those are some pretty big claims. How do we actually know that it works? Well, the proof, as you might guess, is in the concrete.
It all really starts with the company's entire philosophy. The founder makes it super clear. They are not just selling chemicals in a bucket. Their whole mission is to solve one of the biggest risks in construction, especially now, with things like labor shortages and more extreme weather.
And their credibility is totally backed up by real-world results. This isn't just some lab experiment. This tech has been battle-tested in really critical infrastructure projects, like major national highways. It meets tough national certifications, and it's a true homegrown innovation, 100% developed and made in Taiwan.
And here it is. This is the number that really gets your attention. The potential lifespan of this waterproofing and reinforcing effect is up to 30 years. That's 3 decades of protection. Think about how much that reduces long-term maintenance costs and extends the life of the entire building.
So when you put all of this together, you can see it's pointing toward a pretty big shift in how we think about construction. It's really about moving away from just applying short-term fixes and moving towards building in long-term resilience. So the bottom line is that what this technology offers is a blueprint for buildings that are just fundamentally better. They're more durable against weather, more eco-friendly because they last longer, and in the end, they're way more efficient and cost-effective to build and maintain over their lifetime.
Ultimately, what we're looking at here is a move away from sort of disposable construction. This is about creating a lasting legacy. It's using real science to build smarter, more sustainable structures that can genuinely stand the test of time. And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. With technologies like this becoming available, we actually have the tools to change our approach in a fundamental way. So the question isn't just about how we protect one building, it's about how we can redefine the future of our cities. What if our cities were built to truly last?